Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. To you I say, Shalom. Just want to go into a real quick exhortation for the flock, so Lord willing, he'll be edified. And basically what I want to speak about was, remaining faithful in a time of, the fiery trials. All right, the fiery trials that we go through in this walk. Because one thing that we have to consider as we are in a spiritual war is the fact that, we were brought here to suffer. According to whatever measure the Most High Yahweh Shemashah has laid out for you. And your faith ultimately is going to be tested when you're brought unto a lower state. All right, you might start losing things. You might, things just going left, man. It might not seem like things just going your way. And these are still just trials, all right, to test your faith, to see if you're going to burn out, to see if you're going to remain spiritual. Because the Lord laid this thing out to where there's no way that you're going to be able to make it past these tests unless you reflect on the scriptures. And this is where we get our comfort from. As a matter of fact, real quick, let's get on the book of Psalm 119 and 150. And so it says, "This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word have quickened me." All right. So throughout whatever kind of affliction that we're going through, this word is what gives us comfort. As our Lord said, peace I leave with you. Now as a world giver, give unto you. So let not your heart be troubled. All right. So we find comfort by understanding the scriptures. So this is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word have quickened me, or made me alive. All right. So again, this is how we're able to continue in the faith, man, throughout the different trials and tribulations, which are tailor-made by Yahweh Shai. And so let's go back to First Peter real quick. The 4th chapter in verse 12 says, "Share the sufferings of Mashiach Yahweh Shai." All right, because seeing that Yahweh Shai had to suffer, we likewise, have to suffer as we were brought into this council, which is a part of Yahweh Shai's body. Okay, it's a part of the what should I say? It's a rite of passage. So 1 Peter 4:12, "Beloved, think ye not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you." Because you can be going through a situation where it may seem like, hey, you the only one catching the hell, man. But if you relate back into the scriptures, you should understand that there's nothing strange. All right. It's not anything outside of the norm that you're going through that another individual or brother is not having to go through as well. And they may be going through it on a larger scale than you, and they may be dealing with it, better than what you are. They can be able to handle that more than you can, but still every trial is laid out according to your measure to test your faith. And only the faithful are going to be able to remain after that fire. And that's that goal of being tried. So yeah, let's read this in the NLT real quick. And so it says, 1 Peter 4:12, "Dear friends, don't be surprised at the fiery trials you are going through as if something strange were happening to you. Instead, be very glad, right? Be cheerful on the inside. As our Lord said again, my peace I leave with you. For these trials make you partners with Hamashiach in his sufferings, so that you will have the wonderful joy of seeing his glory when it is revealed to all the world." So if your inner peace comes from Yahweh Shai, then it makes these sufferings easier to deal with. Because now you're considering the fact that, hey, I'm just a part of Yahweh Shai's body. And these things, were allotted to me. All right. So when you start to, again, struggle financially, when you start to lose certain things, when you start to, have trouble in the flesh, ailments, people messing with you, so on and so forth, things are just not going your way. You got to consider Yahweh Shai and the fact that you are a part of his sufferings. All right. And that you're being purged, man. at the end of the day. And on top of that, another way of not getting offended is just considering the fact that, we're worthy of receiving every bit of, ounce of punishment that we receive on the side, and even more. In fact, the Lord is not punishing us enough according to our offenses. So once you have that type of mindset, that allows you to deal with certain things and just understand inwardly that I deserve everything that I'm getting. There's nothing that I'm getting that I don't deserve. All right. In fact, I deserve death. So when you have that type of mindset to where the Most High can put you to death at any moment, that eases your mind from the pain, while also considering the fact that you're a part of Yahweh's suffering, and that ultimately when he reveals himself, then you will have joy, okay, at his return. But it takes patience and faith to remain still within Yahweh. All right. So also I want to get Ezra, the 9th chapter, and verse 13. So right here it says, and after all that has come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great trespass, seeing that thou, our power, Yahweh by Shemashah, has punished us less than our iniquities deserve. See that? And has given us such deliverance as this. So with this type of mindset, knowing that you trespass greatly to the point of where, you really deserve to be put to death, but the Lord is sparing you because he opened up this truth unto you to allow you to obtain salvation. You're supposed to take this humbly. All right. Just like when you read in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, when the Lord say, be patient, we are changed to a lower state. Because at the end of the day, we have this great hope of being delivered from these chains of darkness, from all this madness, to where you're never going to feel, the pain of being in captivity ever again. All right. So yeah, that joy keeps you stable, keeps you upright, man. Okay. And not being offended. Because a lot of people grow offended because of the things that they're catching, and they don't understand, like, ultimately you're being punished for your iniquities, man. Right? It all goes back into your iniquities. So real quick, Lamentations, the 3rd chapter, and verse 38. All right. So Lamentations 3 and 38, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. Wherefore doth a living man complain? A man for the punishment of his sins. Yeah, so why are you really complaining? Because you're only being punished for your iniquities. And on top of that, the Lord hasn't even put you to death. Okay, but he's allowing you a chance to escape by remaining faithful. Say, wherefore does a living man complain? Right. You having woman problems. Right. Your boss on the job is constantly harassing you. You can't seem to get ahead. We're under the curses, man, for trespassing grievously. So why complain? It says a man for the punishment of his sins. Yeah. So let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. So when you're catching hell, sometimes they need to sit back and just tell the Lord Salakia, Lord, forgive me for whatever offenses that I may have committed that I don't know about, and reveal to me the issue that's causing you to whoop my ass like that. So again, let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Okay. So yeah, you got to search the inward man. You got to examine yourself. And real quick, another precept in the book of Psalm. I think it's 19 and verse 12. And so it says, who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Let's read this in the NLT. So who can understand his own errors? Psalm 19 and verse 12, NLT. It says, how can I know all the sins lurking in my heart? Cleanse me from these hidden faults. You see, so you have hidden faults that you don't know about, that you a lot of times are being punished for. So when you search your ways, you ask the Lord to forgive you for your iniquities. and to help you understand your faults, man, whatever they may be, because we still get punished also for sins for our past lives. You got to consider it also. When you're catching hell, right? It says, keep your servant from deliberate sins. Don't let them control me. Then I will be free of guilt and innocent of great sin. Okay. So another thing to consider is the fact that the Lord said that he would not put upon us, more than we would be able to bear. I think it's 1 Corinthians 10 chapter and verse 13. So it says, they have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. Right? But Yahweh Shemashah is faithful, who would not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. That's why the Lord said, be patient when you're changed into a lower state, man. Once the Lord start putting that fire on you, just remain still. Be patient. Don't make haste in a time of trouble. It says, again, but Yahweh Shemashah is faithful, who would not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. In prayer, fasting, humbling yourself, and just asking for forgiveness, are things that can allow the Lord to really release some of that hell that you catch. All right. Because again, it goes back to sin. So when you acknowledge your offense, that's pleasing to the Lord, man. Okay. That's pleasing to the Lord. So these are things that we had to consider, which is the fact that the Most High is not going to put more upon us than, we can bear if we remain faithful to the cause. Okay. So eventually he'll make a way to escape. So let's finish it off with, Sirach, Ecclesiastes, 2nd chapter. In verse 1, it says, my son or daughter, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Prepare to be tempted. All right, by the tempter, Satan. Satan's going to be set your way, just like he was sent to Job, to try to sift you out through whatever means that he can, due to the flesh. Sometimes you fall weak in the flesh, and that's always a perfect opportunity for Satan to come and try you. Just consider our Lord Yahweh, who basically went 40 days fasting, and Satan came to him at his weakest point and tempted him then. So you got to consider, when you at your weakest point, that's when Satan is going to try to get within your mind by the flesh, right? Set thy heart aright, set your mind aright, and constantly endure. And constantly endure what? The fire, man, the trials and tribulations. And make not haste in time of trouble. See? So when you're catching hell, man, don't look for the first exit out. Don't say that it's too much for you, but sit there and wait patient. Pray to the Lord and just wait on his mercy. Cleave unto him by what? Subscribing to this truth. As you read in Psalm 119 and 150. This is my comfort in my affliction. You're going to cleave unto what? The scriptures. Right? Through Yahweh Shemashah. It says, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So the last end is going to be what matters. You've continued in the faith, all right, all the way up until the end, enduring those trials and tribulations, whatever was brought to you, and ultimately receiving the prize of salvation, to where you won't feel none of that heartache and pain anymore. Okay. So we'll end it off with this right here, Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter, and verse, matter of fact, Ecclesiastes, 7th chapter and verse 8. So better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Yeah, better is the end of a thing, because we all start at some point, right? And we was fresh when we started. But again, this is like a marathon. The farther you go along, the more it weighs upon you. But still, you got to have the end goal in mind. See? So better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. See? So to be patient in spirit is what the Lord is looking for. Not the proud in spirit, who's going to make haste in a time of trouble and just up and quit. That by default means that you're proud and that you don't believe. Okay? So we have to continue in the faith and endure whatever trials and tribulations that, we got to go through, considering the fact that, Yahweh Shemashah or Yahweh Shai had to go through these same temptations. Only he without sin. So real quick. 1 Peter 4:1, for as much then as a Mashiach has suffered us in the flesh. See, he suffered for us in the flesh. Arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he that has suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin. So your suffering is causing you to cease from sin. If you continue in faith, you're being purged, man. That he no longer should live the rest of his life in the time of the flesh to the lust of men, all right, but to the will of the Most High, okay? So we always considering Yahweh Shai, who is what the author and the finisher of our faith, to get through these spiritual battles. Because without Yahweh Shai and you reflect on the scriptures, there's no way that you're going to be able to continue. So Yahweh Shai, the example, Hebrews 12:1, all right? Matter of fact, verse 2, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and the finisher of our faith. See, he's the author and the finisher of our faith. I want to get this word author real quick. Strong G 747. All right, the chief leader. All right, one that takes the lead in anything and thus affords an example, a predecessor, and a matter, a pioneer. See, a chief leader. Okay, so he is the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. You see, you got to have that joy within you. You still got to have the joy of the kingdom, salvation, deliverance overall to be able to endure. Okay, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. And so that's it right there. You keeping that joy and really understanding, what you're involved with will allow you to have the spiritual tools necessary to get through this knowledge and wisdom to make it through these trials and tribulations, these mental battles that we go through, knowing that at the end of the day, all right, the Lord got us if we remain faithful. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Lord willing, you're edified. Next time I say, Shalom.